are here with the executive director of the Environmental Coalition of Miami Beach, ECOMB.
Yeah.
What do you got? Luis Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Please tell us about this big sweep cleanup and how many volunteers and what we're going to do today.
Well, the Big Sweep event, as I mentioned to you, is it's an annual event now that we started last year. And it's an event to really raise awareness of our community to the amount of litter and trash that people leaving behind on our beaches. They come in and enjoy the beaches, and you know, when we come to a beach, we should only leave our footprints behind and nothing else, to bring everything back. But that's not what happens, so that keeps on giving tremendous amount of work to, you know, to the city of Miami Beach, the county, they are responsible for cleaning up our beach. So we need, you know, to raise awareness of people to keep our beaches clean. So today,
how many volunteers?
Well, we have around 450 volunteers registered for this event. So it's
and I think they all showed up.
I think
here.
we have a lot in here. I don't know how many showed up in the other stations.
Yeah.
So we have another station 15 blocks south from here. So I think there's a lot more people that's going to be walking up and down the beach.
Now the next event that we're going to have, Jerry is putting it together. This is Miami Beach Commissioner Jerry Lubin. Jerry, tell us about our next cleanup on Saturday 4 to 6. Where?
Well, thanks, Congresswoman. Next Saturday between 4 and 6 p.m. right behind Nikki Beach down at 2nd Street and Ocean Drive. We're going to go out there and clean up that specific section of the beach.
Michael.
And we should have a pretty good turnout out there as well. And it's just so important for the environment and to get the message out that people need to be respectful of our beach. And we have this little campaign, no litter and no butts, because the cigarette butts take, what, 50 years to degrade or something?
Yeah, it depends, you know, depends on the type of environment. It can go from, you know, 12 to, you know, 20, 30 years, depends on what, you know, what's
unbelievable.
left out. Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Luis. That's Luis with a Z, like Liza with a Z. And now we have Michael. Michael Gongora is the president of the ECOMB. Michael, tell us about the Big Sweep.
Well, the Big Sweep is great. This is our second annual Big Sweep, Ileana. The competition, as you know, to see who can clean up the most litter on Miami Beach. We have a special category for the cigarette butts, as Jerry was telling you about.
50 years, 30 to 50 years for a cigarette butt?
Yeah, the typical depends. For example, the cigarette butt, the regular, it's said that it's around 12 years, sometimes 20 years. So it's a long time.
Amazing.
Even if it's 15 or 20 or 30, it's a long time.
It's a long time.
And there's a lot of chemicals. That's the main problem.
Yeah.
You know what a cigarette butt, you know what a cigarette does to us. So imagine when in all of the chemicals, they from a cigarette, they get concentrated in the filter. So when these filters, cigarette butts, they get washed into the ocean or into a bay or canals, a lot of the small fish, they think it's food, they ingest it, and you know, they'll die. Yeah, and they can eat it also.
And I know how much work you do.
Nice and loud for our YouTube viewers.
I know how much work you do with the sand sifting and with bringing extra sand to Miami beaches. Imagine what the litter's doing to our tourism and our residents. People don't want to come to a dirty beach, so we really want to bring a message here to our residents, to our visitors. Keep the beaches clean. We want you on the beach, but we don't want your litter.
Thank you.
And pass it on.
Absolutely. And all of the work that the whole South Florida delegation does in trying to bring sand, it's amazing for people to know that not every sand is the same. I mean, we look at it and we think, hey, it's all the same. It so much depends on the thickness, the coarseness, the acidity of sand. And anytime that you put something else into that environment, it makes it that much tougher for marine life. So everything is interconnected. And what you do here impacts something over there.
Exactly. And also, I mean, on top of all of this, as we know, when we bring in sand for beach renourishment projects also, it's very important that we analyze a lot of very detailed research of the habitats around the beach, whether it is for coral reefs or seagrass beds, because if we're not careful with the beach renourishment project, some of the sand that we may bring in, it may affect other habitats that we don't see, you know, from the beach. And that has happened before in other areas. They have killed coral reefs and other seagrass beds because you bring a lot of sand, the sediments remain suspended sometimes for a week, the fine sediment. And if we're not careful in the way that we do the beach renourishment, we can also harm other habitats around us. So this is very important that when we do this project, we're going to count on your help for that.
Thank you so much, Luis. Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Jerry. And we hope to see you next Saturday at Nikki's Beach and South Beach. And then Monument Island will be the next event that you guys put on.
That's going to happen at the end of June. I think it's June 27th, I believe.
So we'll be there. Hope we can count on you. Thank you.
And let's keep our beaches clean.